I've dedicated my life to the warfighters.
Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of Defense, is the first nominee to come before the United States Senate for a hearing in advance of a potential confirmation vote. He faced quite pointed questioning from the Democrats on the committee. They questioned scandals in his background involving allegations of excessive drinking, allegations of sexual misconduct and infidelity, allegations of financial mismanagement, and questions about his qualifications.
We're hiring you to be the CEO of one of the most complex, largest organizations in the world. We're the board of directors here. I don't know of any corporate board of directors that would hire a CEO for a major company if they came and said, you know, I supervised 100 people before.
He wanted to make his unorthodox credentials a virtue rather than a flaw, saying that he was someone who could take a troubled organization and shake it up and turn it in a different direction.
It's time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm. A change agent, someone with no vested interest in certain companies or specific programs or approved narratives.
He was also quizzed on his knowledge of military affairs and policy.
Can you name the importance of at least one of the nations in the ASEAN, and what type of agreement we have with at least one of those nations? And how many nations are in ASEAN, by the way?
I couldn't tell you the exact amount of nations in that, but I know we have allies in South Korea and Japan and in AUKUS with Australia, and trying to work on submarines with them.
Mr. Hegseth, none of those countries are in ASEAN.
Most importantly, he has reversed his position on women serving in combat roles in the military. As recently as a couple of months ago, he was stating unequivocally that he did not believe women should serve in combat.
Because I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated.
For ground combat roles, the standards are the same. Under questioning and over the course of the confirmation process, Hegseth has changed his stance on women in combat roles.
Senator, I would like to clarify, when I'm talking about that issue, it's not about the capabilities of men and women, it's about standards.
Hegseth knew that he would come in for tough questioning from the Democrats on the committee, and he struck a rather defiant tone toward many of the allegations against him.
December of 2014 at the CVA Christmas party at the Grand Hyatt at Washington, D.C., you were noticeably intoxicated and had to be carried up to your room. Is that true or false?
Anonymous smears.
Another time, a CVA staffer stated that you passed out in the back of a party bus. Is that true or false?
Anonymous smears.
The Republicans on the committee were largely supportive.
If confirmed and you issue an order saying we are going to rip the Biden woke yoke off the neck of our military and focus on lethality and warfighting, how do you think the troops will react?
Senator, I know the troops will rejoice.
They will love it.
Some Republican senators have also expressed qualms about his nomination, chiefly the Republican senator from Iowa, Joni Ernst. However, she has said that she was reassured by her private meetings with Hegseth, and in the committee hearing today, she appeared largely supportive.
You and I have had many productive conversations. And just for our audience, we have had very frank conversations. Is that correct, Mr. Hegseth?
Senator, that is a correct characterization.
Republicans coming out of this hearing feel quite good about Hegseth's nomination. If all of the Republicans support him, even if all of the Democrats vote against him, his nomination will be approved by the committee, and he will then go to a vote on the floor of the United States Senate. If he gets 50 votes on the floor of the U.S. Senate, he will then become the next Secretary of Defense.